How do you know if you're rich? How do you know if you're rich towards God? Well, the way you do it is you measure how much you give. Now, not how much you give to the church, although you can count that. In fact, that's where most of my charitable giving goes, is to the church. But it doesn't have to. So if you don't want to give to the church, that's fine. If you're not a Christian, then this really probably doesn't even apply to you anyway. But let's say that you're a Christian, you don't really want to give to the church. How do you be rich towards God? Well, just give something away and make it a percentage of your income. A lot of us, we have a spending plan called the budget. We have a savings plan called our investments. But seldom do any Christians have a giving plan. Our giving is what's called the 3S giver. It's spontaneous, it's sporadic, and it's sparingly. So you give spontaneously when you hear a sad story, you see a cute little puppy on the commercial, aw, and then you give, and maybe you give a lot. You give like $100. They only needed 50. I gave 100. I'm a really charitable person. But when you get to the end of the year and they mail you your receipt, you look at that money that you gave as a comparison to the percentage of the total amount that you made. It's like 0.1% of your total income. Sorry to tell you, you're not generous. So don't make a 3S giver, be a 3P giver. The 3P giver is someone who makes giving a priority. It's from the top. It's a percentage, which means you pre-decide every time this amount comes in, this amount goes out in giving. Maybe you don't give it to the church, but you give it to some homeless guy, you give it to some single mom, you pay for some college student's meal because you know college students can't afford it. Yeah, I don't care how you give it, but it's a percentage of your income to others, a priority, a percentage, and progressive. One of the things that I was inspired, Rick Warren's testimony, that he always wants to increase his giving. I think that's great. You'll never regret money that you give. You'll regret money that you spend, and you shouldn't have spent. You regret the money that you gave to your brother-in-law, but you never regret money that you give, because when you give to people who need it, you're being rich towards God. You're storing up for yourself treasure in heaven. And really, you're investing in the things that matter most.